A year after U.S. President Donald Trump's Liberation Day, tariffs upended North American trade. Canada's labor market has slipped into a strange equilibrium economists are calling static. The economy is still adding jobs in some months and losing them in others, but net gains have flatlined, and the mix of who's working and where is shifting in ways that mask deeper weakness. Statistics Canada's February 2026 labor force survey, marking roughly 12 months since the tariff threats turned into reality, shows manufacturing shed 51,800 jobs year over year, the steepest loss of any sector. The damage is concentrated in Ontario, home to the auto and steel corridor hit hardest by U.S. duties on steel, aluminum, and autos. Economists warn the pain may not be done. Auto contracts often run 6 or 12 months, so a recalibration could still hit as those agreements roll off, says Andrew DiCapua of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Overall, job growth since January 2025 has been thin and lopsided. The economy added bursts in some months, 66,600 in October, 60,400 in September, but much of it was part-time or public sector hiring, e.g., temporary election work in April. Since the start of 2025, the market has added just 44,500 jobs, entirely in part-time positions, plus 91,200, while full-time fell. The unemployment rate has hovered around 6.9% to 7.0%, with youth hit hardest. The 15 to 24 jobless rate hit 14.6% in July 2025, the worst outside the pandemic since 2010, and the youth employment rate sank to levels not seen since 1998. Behind the headline static is a structural shift. Population growth has slowed sharply after Ottawa tightened immigration. Working-age population growth decelerated to an annualized 1.9% in Q1 2025, the slowest since mid-2022, and RBC says that fundamentally changes the math. The break-even pace of job creation needed to keep unemployment from rising is shrinking. In 2026, even small gains, or modest losses, could nudge the jobless rate lower, even as GDP growth remains soft, operator 1.25% expected. There are also spillover risks. Services tied to trade, transportation, warehousing, wholesale/retail have lost jobs. Trade shed 27,000 in April 2025. And while CUSMA exemptions kept operator 90% of Canada-US exports tariff-free, the uncertainty has chilled business investment and hiring intentions. The Bank of Canada expects cautious hiring this year, but sees the jobless rate stabilizing rather than spiking, largely because the labor force isn't growing fast enough to push it up.